ATISHANI and welcome to UTUNTU's Magazine Lifestyle Show. As you know, here at UTUNTU, we're all about all things lifestyle. We're here to educate, inspire, and we learn every day. We get to be as real can be, and we're just happy that you're joining us today. Thank you very much for joining us. And as you all know, UTUNTU's Magazine always has fresh faces each and every time. But before I even go to the guest, my name is Tisa, and today we're going to be talking about 5+2 reasons why degree holders are poorer. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, very much.
And joining me today is the one and only scholar. His face is familiar, but it's always a good time when he's around, and you should know this by now. Thank you so much, scholar, for joining us.
Super excited to be here. You know, UTUNTU is the most happening show. So when you're invited on this show, it's always a vibe, and
it's good. And as you all know from last time when scholar was here, well, if it's your first time seeing scholar on the show, brace yourself. Scholar brings the energy, and he always brings the A game when it comes to his opinion. So I can't wait to hear from you. And like his famous quote is, "Ichaloli donkey." Exactly. So we're just going to get right into it, and it has been quite an amazing time for everyone out there. There's been a lot of euphoria. It has been great. I don't know how it's been on your end, but for me it has been amazing.
You know, it's I think from the time I was here, then we were into July, August, and now August has been a hype of activities and all that. So you see that now that we are slowly getting past this period, it's a good time. Looking forward to September. And when we are saying about Ichaloli Donkey Ngawai Pakupona, you know, someone was saying, some of you, you should start preparing for December so that you will not say Avantu Mama one. So
exactly. I was even thinking just to myself, I'm like, wait, it's August month and already.
Yes.
Christmas needed it. So yeah, you're right. I hope you're saving for Christmas, guys. Not that we know. Badi insha.
Badi insha. No, you have to start preparing just now.
Yeah. So getting into the topic, I'm very interested to hear your opinion on this, because more about Scholar 101. So we're going to start with, there's so much talk when it comes to education and graduates and all those things. So for me, this topic is really exciting because it hits home. It's an everyday talk, and just to sit down and talk about it is really, really exciting. So the first thing that I want to just bring across is how they say degree holders are poorer compared to other people who don't have degrees. So then the first thing that people say is degree holders don't see beyond their degrees, like they cannot be creative beyond their degrees. Is it true?
Well, you know, Tisa, when you told me the topic that will be discussing on this platform, I even posted it on my WhatsApp status, and you know, I also received exciting comments and reactions about this topic. So I know that a number of colleagues, friends out there, and everyone that saw that post is watching this discussion, and I know that everyone is agreeable to the fact that we degree holders, we tend to be poorer, or it takes time for us to reach a point that we just come out and say, okay, let me do my thing. So you understand that yes, to a greater extent, it is justifiable for anyone out there to say that degree holders, you know, are poorer. The late Michael Sata was actually saying, look, and so, and even in this case, with our discussion, we understand that, you know, you and I, who are graduates of the University of Zambia, for example, and other learning institutions, you find that we wouldn't want to go and sell ice cream on the streets. We wouldn't want to stand by and sell plastics. We wouldn't want to be with our parents who actually struggled to send us to higher learning institutions to sell tomatoes with them and vegetables. So it is that silver lining that we tend to see when you get a degree or when you get to university, college, and get exposed to this kind of life. So you understand that the exposure to university life, where we tend to live fake life of hype and just all out, it's what becomes a challenge now that you are with we are with a lot of friends, full of energy, and now when you are home, you are alone with your family. You have to struggle probably to get a job and everything. And probably as we go on, we'll be able to discuss why some graduates even tend to move out of that poverty or poor tag and tend to find jobs just after graduating, even as we go on. But right about now, I would totally agree to say we are so comfortable with the paper that we have as graduates, and we feel we cannot do certain jobs. So it is that kind of understanding that will be able to let us still stay in this gap where we are saying, you can't do this, and because you can't do that, you end up just staying poor or without a job.
Yeah, that is very profound.
Yeah.
And like people have been saying, like you've said as well, we don't see past the paper.
Yeah.
We can't. I cannot sell.
I cannot sell vegetables.
I can't sell vegetables. So, from what you've said and from what I have heard and seen, could you say it's a mindset thing? So, like you've just put it in your mind that just because I have a degree or a certificate, I cannot go to the market to sell, unless it's a white collar job.
Yeah, true, very true. Talking about the conversations, the way you're saying you have had conversations. I was having a conversation with Coach Lubindanguleka, who was actually telling me to say, you know what, Wankumbu, you degree holders tend to remain in this line because of the mindset. It's all about the mindset. You should ask me to say, how much does a civil servant get? If you're a degree holder, probably standard, you are maybe getting between 3,000 and 6,000 or 7,000 thereabout when there are these tax deductions and all, and others even have loans. So you find that a degree holder who's working as a teacher, probably as a clinic officer, as a nurse, maybe their takeaway home is just about between 3,000 and 4,000. Yeah. So now come to think of it, this person who has got an Airtel booth stationed in a central business district, or even at a busy place somewhere within town or even in the compounds, you find that that particular individual who has taken off this hat of being a graduate would actually go home at the end of the month with more money compared to a graduate who has a degree and maybe working as an accountant, working as a teacher, or any other job that is there for graduates. Okay, so if you think beyond that and say, let me go all out there and do this, indeed you can do better, and you can even just do more and become an employer. Okay, but if we still have this mindset, which I'm agreeing to say we have, the only challenge we have here is the problem of the mindset. If we fight that, we are going to find that fresh graduates are going to be entrepreneurs, they are going to be job creators, and it will even trickle down to how much government will be able to raise in terms of revenue. So greatly it's about the mindset. Yeah, if we think, okay, me, I'm just comfortable, I'm a graduate, I can't do this, I can't do that, I cannot stay all day in a Airtel booth or MTN or any, you find that we are going to become better. But if that mindset is still there, oh my God, we are going to be like risky.
So from what you have said, I think it's not only just being poorer when it comes to financial wise, it's also being poorer in terms of thinking. So the mindset is a limitation, and I think it's also one thing that makes a degree holder poorer, because they don't get to see other opportunities beyond that which they've put in their head. So you were talking about thinking outside the box. Okay, that's me putting it in my other ways. But you're saying thinking past a certain level and seeing things. So then there's also another thing that I read, another myth or reason, which is reason number 2. I don't know if it's true, but I read where they say degree holders do not think outside the box.
Well, that's very true, because let me I should be an example. Even myself.
Please do.
Because I know everyone who's watching there would have known, say, okay, Wankumbu, scholar from the university. And there's this vibe that we tend to have when you're in the university or college, and this is the vibe that comes with popularity in school. So when you amass this kind of or amount of popularity within your friends, or even in a university, or at a particular constituency, you understand that you'll be feeling shy, and this is where the poor part of the mindset comes in, because you'll be thinking that, okay, how will people look at me if they find that scholar was selling plastics in the streets? Okay, so I'm thinking of this and putting it in other people's mind that they'll look down on me, and all this. So when you look at not thinking beyond the box or outside the box, you understand that we attach this certain level of importance upon ourselves. Hence, we tend to look down on particular opportunities. But while that is true, and that's what most of my friends out there, other graduates, are experiencing or facing, there is need for people that have lived beyond them, those that probably had stayed maybe in society after graduating from the university for about 4 or 5 years, just to speak to this fresh graduate. Tisa, you can easily go into depression. Okay, because you're understanding and you're looking at yourself as this particular student, and maybe life gives us these lessons that we tend to come to know, maybe even after we are past it. You understand that most of the best students in learning institutions, or those that are popular, few of them tend to find jobs just right there after completing school. And because that is the case, you tend to wonder, now we have got WhatsApp, social media and everything, so everything is happening there. So if I'm going to stay in society without finding a job, or without finding anything that will keep me busy, it's likely, or the chances that I am likely to fall or to enter a process of depression is very high. Okay, so if we are going to enter there and there's no one to speak to us, we are likely to have that depression, which will even break us further not to think outside the box. But if there's someone who's going to be around, who's going to talk to you, help you, just look at other opportunities that are available beyond your paper. You could understand that I did media and communication studies, but now I want to venture into agriculture, because I know, okay, what else can I do apart from waiting maybe to sit on TV like yourself and just do this, or maybe be as a reporter out there. I want to say, okay, let me venture into agriculture, let me venture into fish farming and all this. So sometimes we could have this idea, but we need someone to just remind us and push us. So to everyone out there who's watching this program, UTUNTU is there to encourage you and educate you. And when we are talking about thinking outside the box, we want you to think beyond your paper. We want you to think beyond your means of income or revenue, your means of connections and all that, and just go all out there and find something that you can actually get or lay your hands on, just to keep yourself going. So pretty much we tend not to think outside the box because of the name that we had in university, the popularity, the qualification, and mainly even this school programs that we do, they do not teach us to be more innovative and entrepreneurial. So only if an individual rises above and says, okay, let me do this, and we are going to be a better person.
That is so true. I agree. And like you said, for anyone else out there who's watching, we're talking about 7 reasons why entrepreneurs are poorer.
I like it when you say 2 plus 5.
Okay, 2 plus 5 reasons. And we're just from discussing how most people with papers, these are qualifications, could be a degree, it could be a certificate, could be a diploma, do not think outside the break. And please stay tuned, because after this we're going to have 5 more reasons. We've done the 2, so we're going to have 5 more reasons why graduates or degree holders are poorer. Stay tuned, and you're watching UTUNTU Magazine Talk Show.
Turning love story.
I just want him to be honest with me, to open up to me.
He likes you, Sumi. Just be patient with him.
A wealthy young man of Indian origin engaged to another woman, falls in love Zambian girl.
Marco, I try to tell myself over and over again that we're better off as friends, but I just can't stop thinking about you. It's a beautiful face. Every time you smile, not to mention these lips.
So, Rajesh loves Mwaka, but he's betrothed to a girl called Sumi.
2 different cultures.
Rajesh has been seeing another woman, a Zambian.
Sit, Rajesh. Don't tell me you're serious with that girl. Zambian girls, their culture is different, Rajesh. They can never fit into our culture.
And if you think you're gonna marry a Zambian, just get it out of your head.
But definitely, not a mwenye.
An obsessive ex-lover.
Shut up. What is mine is mine. And as for that Indian guy, he will regret for trying to get what is mine. Indian boy, you better stay away from Mwaka, or else you'll be cremated faster than your time.
Will their love stand the test of time?
Some guy confronts me and he tells me to stay away from his girl.
It could have been anyone.
You understand?
Okay, sir.
Now get out of here.
Thank you, sir.
Such unreliable people.
An exciting, dramatic experience in the first ever Zambian Indian telenovela.
I don't love Sumi. I love you.
Hugs and Kisses on ABN TV, exclusive to Topstar Decoders.
Welcome back. You're watching UTUNTU Zamgazine Talk Show, and we have Mabel in the house.
As usual, I need to have AKA something. I'm still working on my nickname, you know.
But I like.
I'll give you one.
Please, I'm listening.
Yeah, no, off
the set.
Yeah.
Off the record. So today, if you're just joining us now, we're talking about 5+2 reasons why degree holders are poorer. And before we went for the break, we highlighted that sometimes they do not think beyond their certificate. They prioritize their certificates, and they also do not think outside the box. The thinking is limited. Yeah. And Wankumbu gave out a few pointers how we can overcome that and just thrive. So now we're going to get into how, because of the papers they have, because of the degrees, degree holders tend to look down on their gifts and talents. They don't pay attention to their gifts and talents. Is it true?
It's interesting. You know, this is where now when somebody asks you to say, what's your talent? Yeah, so for me, even before going into university and what, I played football. Okay. Yeah, I even went for trials under Power Dynamos in Kitwe. Okay. But you know, it's where our parents tend to tell us to say, no, you need to concentrate on school, you need to do this kind of thing. So for me, it was worse. Mom even ended up coming to school to tell my sports teacher that if they wanted me to be moved from that school, I should be allowed, I should continue playing for the school team. But instead, well, they prioritized that maybe I can do debate and quiz for the school. So I was allowed to stop playing football for the team and all that. And even now, when you come into university, you've been fed with this kind of mentality to say, don't do this. Even if you are good at this particular sport, talent, you can't do that, maybe because the university will not give you that time to do your talent. So you understand that it's less time to develop or work on your talent if you are into university. Thus, you understand that it becomes a challenge to even work apart from school, like academics. If I'm doing media or I'm doing social work, let me do social work and maybe instead not play guitar, maybe not do drama and all that. So it's about how we tend to concentrate, because you know, when you're into university or college, you know, parents are like, should you fail? You know, this kind of emphasis is what tends to even like bar students or graduates to fail to like explore and even do beyond what it is that they went for at that particular institution and all that. So you understand that by the time you are coming out of university and try to focus on that talent or develop that, it probably could be too late. For me, for example, if I'm saying, okay, should I go back and start playing football and all that? So you find that for some that do not persist, the zeal is no longer there. And for those that do not persist and want to just push further, even with school stress, you just fail to push that. You understand that the zeal goes and you tend now to focus on other things. Now that I'm out of school, what's my focus? If I'm going to play football back, how long will it take me to penetrate into the first team? How long will I get some money? Or maybe I should just focus on this, what I was trained to do into university. So you understand that all these things play a bigger role as to why graduates fail to even think beyond their paper and just explore on the talent. But I think even while I've emphasized much on this, I should mention that I think we are slowly moving away from that, because most of us, we have realized that there's so much competition there. True. And this competition, for example, I'll constantly give example about the media. You understand that very few, but I don't know if Mabel did media studies. That
I didn't.
You see, so Mabel didn't do media studies.
I'm putting it out there. Okay. I want to be honest, I didn't. I just got lucky in my passion.
No, it's not lucky. It's your passion and your talent. You are doing pretty much far much better than those that maybe I sat with in class who did media studies in terms of hosting a show. So you understand that there's that competition out there about talent and just improving your skill. So now a lot of people have started struggling to balance the program that one is doing and also just developing that talent, because you don't know where you are going to get it. Is it me? I wasn't so much into graphics designing, but the job that I have today tends to do more with graphics designing. So I now have to work balancing on my program and graphics designing. So it's all about that competition that now a lot of us now are trying to balance. If you're in school, and this is where now that we are graduates, I'm telling those that are in school or those that have got siblings that are in school to say, even while you are in school, you need to ensure that try to balance your study and developing that skill, because you don't know where you might find your greener pasture. So it's all about that. Let's think outside the box. Let's just play along, develop the talent as well as do your program.
Well, I feel you've said almost half of everything. But I'll take you back to the point you highlighted to say, parents, their emphasis sometimes can almost like shatter your dreams.
It did.
It
did with me.
It did, eh? Wow. He's being honest right now.
Yeah, I'm being honest. I know mom is watching. So mom, I'm telling you about how you shatter my dream of playing.
Goodness. It's just an innocent question on my part. I just want some clarity. But do you think parents' emphasis sometimes when it comes to our education and how much they want us to succeed, like you've said, in your case, it actually really did shatter your dream. You wanted to become,
a soccer player.
By now, you would have been the next Patson Dark. I felt continued in that channel, which you wanted so badly to do. But what should be the balance? When you've lived that, you've experienced that, you've seen the emphasis which parents can actually place on your life. So what should be the balance when it comes to actually guiding your child in terms of building up a career and also talent development? What should be that little balance there when it comes to parenting and coaching a child?
Well, I think right now
from your experience,
from my experience, I think there are a lot of examples that I'm saying if I were to go back 5-8 years down the line, I'll be able to tell mom to say, look at Kapembwa Msonda. Kapembwa Msonda is with Beautcon now. He finished his degree with the university. He managed to complete school while even playing professional football. So I think there are those examples, the likes of Cholwe Andia, who's playing football and has finished his degree program, and many other people that you could cite. And now we understand even how jobs are scarce out there. I'll be able to tell my parents to say, look, this is what it's there. Even if I don't get a job after getting my degree, I will be able to play soccer. Some of the people that follow reggae music will be able to make reference to Lucky Dube, that Lucky Dube actually, after doing his law degree, actually there's the story that he took that certificate to the parents and told them, so okay, you wanted me to do this so much. Now that I've done it, here is the paper. I'm going my musical career. Wow. So there are all these examples that are out there that I'll be able to stand up and just maybe give my parents and show them, say, look, I can actually do this while there's this because of the following people that I'm citing. But even as someone is doing this, there should be that emphasis not to disappoint your parents, because sometimes our parents tend to say all this because maybe they know our weaknesses. Like my weakness was that I could come from school, in basic school, grade 8, grade 9, from school without going home to change my uniform and off I go to the pitch to play football. And obviously they saw that, okay, this guy is going to be distracted and might fail. But if you are going to balance your talent, your skills and school, go all out there, tell your parents, cite all those examples that I've given, among others, even those that are very practical around you, to just tell them, say, look, I can actually do this with school, just like that person did. But otherwise, if you are going to say, okay, I want to do this, well, they don't want to be disappointed. They are spending so much money on us and everyone. So
And parents sometimes just really want the best for us, and what the times they grew up in and the times of growing up in are very different.
It's different.
And the other thing is your talents, your gifts, and all these things, when you develop them with how you said there's competition out there,
there is
putting
so
them
much
together with your degree, your diploma, you could actually bring something unique to the table. So I think the other thing that we should just also put out there is that don't look down on your talents, whether you have a paper or not, because you never know where you might have to apply it.
That's true.
Because I mean, that football experience that you had, you probably still watch football, and this might come in handy one day. I mean, you're in media, you never know, maybe you might be chairing a sports show. Our talents, I mean, your talents, your gifts, they're very, very important, and there's a reason that God put them in you. You never know where that would take you.
That's very true. And so it brings me to my other question, which is, I understand there's so much going on. There's a lot of entertainment from everywhere in Zambia. Let's not say much about Zambia, it's so obvious. Every day we wake up to a new episode. I get it. I feel to some extent we take so much time to know what's happening in the world than actually taking the time to understand ourselves, understand our strength, what we are good at, the talents, and it's another thing which I can almost say as a distraction, because you're so focused on what is out there and forgetting about ourselves and what we can do as people and what we can actually produce, which is very beneficial to us. So what's your take? How do you think this whole thing has affected you, or is affected all of us out here?
Well, let me use, like me and my phone are inseparable.
We all are, trust me.
Speak for yourself.
But for me and my phone are inseparable. I don't even know if I were to go an hour without a phone. I don't know how I would feel, because I'm always online, and that's why I use a certain brand of a phone, because it would be like marketing for them if we mention the name, but I use a certain brand of a phone that will enable me to go on and on, just to stay online and everything, and this is why I'm also doing my side also. I'm after graduating, you don't have like a real job. I'm managing Facebook pages, Twitter accounts for people and everything. So going online for an hour, you would have missed a whole lot of things.
That's true.
But I saw that while I was in university, I had now to just download a certain app that should just limit me to access any application that requires internet usage, because I knew to say, okay, even if I say, okay, let me switch off my phone, maybe I might be needed at the radio station, I might be needed at the pitch, because then I was the Secretary General for the Sports Council in university. So there was all this distraction that came along, but immediately I went into the library. I had to make sure that I put that app so that I do not access Facebook, I do not access Twitter, I do not access Instagram and WhatsApp. So that's how I managed to study. So I understand that there are a lot more other people that are in school out there, and you are experiencing this challenge that I had of just being a social media addict. You can actually get applications that could limit your access to these social applications, that even as you go on to study, you dedicate an hour to study, even if you say, okay, let me get my phone, you try to go to your application, you've locked it for an hour or for 2 hours, it will enable you to say, oh, okay, I said I'm locking my phone so that I study. Okay, so if you put all those little things in place, you are going to ensure that you are going to study. But I'll tell you what, social media is actually a real distraction to most of us and a lot more people out there. And if you do not create this balance, it can actually distract you, and you may even end up failing to concentrate on your goal.
That's true, and I feel most people don't realize that it's actually a barrier. They just see it as entertainment, platform where they can just post, comment, share, just be entertained.
When you look at how people are posting on their statuses, you'd think a thread is one, but there are a whole lot.
1,000 of photos there. No, that's very true.
And I think also what he's saying about the distraction and all that, like what she asked, like most people, when you're in school, you tend to concentrate more on, you want to know what's in the book, and you forget about yourself. You forget about who you are. I mean, we're growing. The way we were 2-3 years ago is not the way.
It's so
it's
different.
Not the same. And sometimes I think, like, social media aside, just books and school-wise, people get buried in becoming a doctor and forget about becoming who they really are. So it's like, what do you like? Anything. What kind of books do you like?
No, that's true.
Anything. What
that's
drink
true.
will you, even just a drink, maybe I mean, we go somewhere, what are you eating? Anything.
Oh, whatever you order for me.
Exactly. You don't even know what you like. Like,
True.
and people forget to also like live outside the books, just like back at school would call them jobbies. Jobbies. It's just the live. You even fail to have others because there's life other than academics.
And actually, it is that which actually contributes to most of the graduates. The best graduating graduates fail maybe even to find a job or just find what to do, because most of the times you spent your time studying, you buried yourself in 2 books and you did all this, and you failed to make this social connection with other people. You see, this social connection with people in universities or learning institutions are the ones that tend to come and be of help once you're out there. Because today, if I were friends with Tisa in university, when I know that there is someone who's doing this design, traditional design, I'll be able to think of Tisa because she was a friend in school, and I'll be able to call her to say, Tisa, look, there is an opportunity here, or maybe there's this, let's do this, you see. So that in its actual sense of wanting to bury yourself into the books has contributed more to some of the graduates not getting to have that social connection with other people that they can even explore. Okay, and this is where the disparities, and I know this is very debatable, that most of the natural scientists and social scientists have got this difference in how they succeed in life. I will give an example of a medical doctor. A medical doctor and someone who just did a degree maybe in social work would live a whole different kind of lifestyle, and maybe someone who just has a degree in social work, for example, would be able to succeed in life as compared to someone who did medicine, because theirs is just them and the patients. But this person who did this program that enables them to interact with the people, they are going to be able to know, okay, there's someone who's selling land this side, there's someone who's doing all this, because there's this social connection amongst themselves and the other people. So don't just bury yourself in the books. Get to know other people, tend to socialize and develop the talent that which we much emphasized on.
That's true. I can relate. There's someone who is close to me. I won't mention names, obviously.
She's watching.
Okay,
it's not late. I just feel, she's got so much potential. She's a student. This is someone who's well spoken. You can tell she's got so much potential in her, but the only thing she does is just be indoors, school, her laptop, assignment, that's it. We're talking about social connections, social relationship, and it's not like you just have to be with the social, rather have a social relationship with people in the university or anything. Even those around you, it really helps. Be out there, expose yourself, meet people, make new friends, just be out there. Exactly. I feel bad because she's always indoors. I mean, she's got light skin. She's even lighter now.
It's good. It's good. You want to get that distinction. You want to get that merit at the end of the day. But you also need to see who's going to help you if you get this distinction. Now, and it starts in university. And you understand that, like I was discussing earlier, that look, if you are well spoken, maybe you graduate with your distinction or a merit, and then you find that this person who has probably graduated with a credit, I'll not talk about the silent because I'll not be encouraging people to study out there, but this person who has graduated with a credit will be able to probably even find a job even before this particular person who graduated with a distinction. Why? Because people are looking at what other extracurricular activities did you do while you were pursuing this this program. So it's all these little things that matter at the end of the day. So we need to go all out there, concentrate, have focus, but yet we need to interact and socialize.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Go
and
out
also,
there, concentrate.
Just before we move on to your next one, what you said, the extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
When you get to know yourself, you get to know what else you can add on to the things that you already have. Mabel mentioned she didn't do media stuff.
Yeah, but look at her.
Her passion.
Look at her here.
She knows, like, okay, I like to present, I like to talk to people. And wait, since I like to do this, I can do this. Let me try it out. And I think self-awareness enables you to try out different things and to put yourself out there. You won't be like, I can't. Can I?
And that's the barrier, the first barrier to everything.
Yes, you'll be able to know your strengths and your weaknesses and what to work on so that you put yourself out there. Then I think it's even more, it's more than your degree because it's who you are. It sets you apart, really.
Of course, of course.
Wow, so you've heard it from our gentleman here. Go out there, be social, make friends, make sure you have the right connections, you know, don't be indoors, develop your talents, know what you're good at, don't just, you know, be on the other side of the wall and think life would catch up with you. It won't. You actually be left behind while all of us are actually doing what we can do. So for now we go on a break. We'll see you on the flip side. And we are back. Remember to be social, know your strength, know your weaknesses, as Mwakumbi mentioned earlier on. So don't just be on the other side of the wall and think life will catch up with you. It will never catch up with me or you or anybody else. So get yourself out there and do what you have to do. So Wakumbu, you know, I don't want to degrade anything. You know, education is I just want to put it out there and be honest. I don't want to degrade anything. I myself, I have stated to say I didn't go to school to be here in front of a camera, no, but I did my my paper, which is development studies. I'm thankful. But do you think to a certain extent, you know, education, not even education, let me not use the term education, I don't want to be killed for this. You know, having, let's say, a degree or a degree or a master's can actually kill your instincts as a human being to actually have plans other than just being, you know, in an office doing your work and everything. Does that kill, you know, the natural creativeness in you?
Well, it's a tricky one, because you know, I've seen people who have just stuck to what they have done.
Yes, they always work by the book. Other than that, no theory works for them. It's always what they've learned in school.
So there's that constituents, that group of people that just believe in that, and these are the ones that maybe if I do my degree in this, for example, you do DS, you also want to do another master's in DS, and you just want to live by that. I've learned from other people who have shared their stories. I was taught to say, look, Wankumbu, you've done this as your undergraduate. So before you venture into doing your masters because you want to do this, life doesn't work like that. You find that maybe something that I'm doing now as my internship was extracurricular activity will tend to show me a certain direction that I'll have to go in life. And if I rushed into moving and working by the book, then I'll be limited and fail to go out there. And these actually are the people that you tend to find that they'll do 2 masters. Okay, someone has got a master's in this and then they also do this master's, because now they have realized that actually they did the first master's, which is probably not even helpful to advance their career or to advance their knowledge in a particular field. Then they tend to do another master's. For example, someone would have done a master's in mass communication or communication, then you find that they come and do a master's which is under DS, maybe in monitoring and evaluation, because maybe the job that they are doing now requires that component. So you understand that maybe the other masters would even be relevant at that particular time, but could just be used for the sake of just advancing yourself in terms of promotion and all that, but not to bring that self-actualization within an individual. So this kind of thinking or burying ourselves into this education could actually be a challenge even as you advance or as you even develop yourself. But I like that the other constituency which says, okay, I'll do this in the meantime, okay, but since maybe, for example, maybe you want to be a manager at this media house, you'd say, okay, I think since I did DS, let me do a master's in communications development, okay, because you now realize that I think I'm better placed in the media industry and I can do this. So we need to myself. We need to be open-minded and just go all out there and think outside the box.
That's very true. That's very true. Because
I think you also said creativity.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it also just takes us back to the where we said the limitation in the mindset. So I think it goes back to they don't want other things. For them, they're just stuck to say there's nothing else apart from the
this.
paper.
So there's also lack of creativity, because yours, like Mabel mentioned here, you just want to stick to the book. You want to stick to the rule of the book and
the theories.
All. So that will limit your limit your thinking outside
even
the
your
box.
Productivity and what you bring to the table.
And honestly, these are highly, what's the word? They're very self-centered. There's nothing you can actually tell them.
No, you can't. You can't tell them. They're like us
they're
soccer fans. When you believe in this football player, no one can tell you about the other Arsenal people, Messi, Ronaldo, soccer fans. No, who's better? So these are the same people that they lack that creativity, because even if you present these facts before them, they will not think outside that box and become creative and bypass certain processes just to have that goal achieved. So there's also lack of creativity. I think I should agree with you guys.
And then you find those who actually bring the creativity to the table, you tend to thrive in the space that you're in. Because like we said, in every workspace you have to be creative.
Everywhere.
And your creativity, you have creativity in mind, and we have Precious behind the scenes. Shout out to Precious.
She's making sure that we are on point.
Exactly. So everyone has got, we have different ways of being creative. And like you both of you say, don't hold back, put yourself out there. And whatever you bring to the table, if it brings a solution, no matter how small you might think your creativity is, it does make a difference, and it makes you marketable actually.
You know, in life you tend to, with calculated moves, you can tend to bypass certain things just to achieve your goal, and this should be done outside the book, because the book will tell you to say, if you are going to manage anger stress, you need to follow the 4-5 stages. But look, someone, instead of even maybe listening to them and understand their problem, you just take them out, have a drink, have a meal, and then you come back. You listen to them, you come back. This person will come back smiling. You don't have to go through all that 5-6 stage process and just
just to cut it short. It's like now life has been put in a book. For you to be happy, you need to know this theory. For you to succeed, you need to know this theory. You need to understand the steps, how it works. But that's not life. You need to understand we've got a history. We come from somewhere. How did our parents succeed? It's not like success is just now in 2021 or maybe the 21st century. People have succeeded before our time. So that should be something actually to motivate you to say, how did they live in their times? They never had all these, happenings. We have degrees, papers, masters, but people have succeeded. From the past where we're coming from, there has come great ideas. Things we are enjoying right now, they just didn't happen over time. You need to understand we come from something, and people were happy they've succeeded. So don't just look at the old ways of living to say it's nothing. All I have to do is get that master's or degree. There's so much to life. Always remember that. I feel that's what people should also consider.
There's also something else I read, and the video that and this one is going to hit home here. It's like degree holders are prepared like when they're in university, they are prepared for a world that no longer exists. So it's like when they're in university, when they're in college and they're getting their paper, they have this world that they are told is out there.
We picture this.
Not that it's bad, we need to make it true. It's not bad though. It is true.
And just like Mabel wants to stress that, we picture this. It's not bad to picture, but let's not bury ourselves in this picture that if we see another opportunity which is lesser or which we think is far from the destination that we are picturing, then we tend to stop from there. You find that my destination is here, but there is like a small job or like a small opportunity which is here, which could actually take me at my final destination. So you find that these things or picturing this world will actually tend to bar us from achieving our intended goal. And for graduates, you continue grinding and grinding and grinding.
I think we need to add on something. No, go ahead now.
No, I'm just sad that we have to wind up.
Oh my God, it's already time.
This has been very interesting, but I'll let Mabel take it up. Did you see how she came out? It's like she had something for this point. Please. Like it's not all bad. So,
and I'm glad because it's straight it out there to say. It's not a bad thing, but remember, as you're trying to reach that, image you have in your head, let's say there are other opportunities around, you can still take them up. You never know. And the funny thing about life is that nothing is straight.
No.
Nothing is straight. The greatest men and women out there can testify how they started and who they are now. You'll be shocked. The gap is just too much. They took up whatever was available to them. They took up whatever was given to them, not because they were, for lack of better terms, foolish or anything or degraded themselves. It's called starting from somewhere. You understand? So
and just there, Mabel, there's the University of Zambia spokesperson, Dr. Brenda Koa, yesterday shared on her Facebook page that, at some point in life, she sold ice cream, ice block, before she even went to university, and she did all the little things that she could do. But today when you look at her, she's a university don and she's doing all these other jobs. She has got a cattle ranch and all doing all these things. And when she talks about mentorship, you understand that actually young ladies can pick it up from there to say, even after reaching a certain level, no matter how beautiful you are, you can go all out there and just do the little that you can do to achieve your goal.
No, that's very true. Tisa,
it's true.
We need to be humble.
I'm touched. Yes, we have to start somewhere.
Start somewhere.
It has been really, really interesting. And if you're joining us now and you're late to the party, don't feel bad. You can still go to our Facebook page at UTUNTU Zambia and catch up, as well as our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to UTUNTU Zambia. And well, I've learned so much.
I have as well, honestly.
And I'm a graduate, and this has really just been
Very
refreshing.
helpful,
Yeah, I hope it's been helpful for you too. If you have anything else that you want to add on, if you want to interact, please feel free to get in touch with us on our social media platforms, and you can use the number on the screen as well. And from us,
you still remember our slogan?
He does.
Oh, great!
Atishani po kaidi.
So on 1, 2, 3, we go.
Atishani po.